Good morning. Good morning, all. Online students, is my voice is loud and clear? Online students, could you please confirm? Done. Okay, guys, let's start the session. So in the last class, we are discussing about the Power BI. So in today's class also, let us continue with the Power BI. And before moving to the advanced part of the Power BI, right? Now, before moving on to the advanced part of the Power BI, so just let us see here what are the things we are going to cover in still in the Power BI. Okay, so now this is today's class, that is Tuesday. In today's class, we are going to cover in terms of what are the balance plots are available. Every plot we are going to complete today. All the plots we are going to complete along with the tables. Okay, these we are going to complete in the today's class. And tomorrow, that is January 1st, tomorrow we are having the classes as it is, no holiday or nothing. So tomorrow is regular working day only. So tomorrow we are having the class, and in the tomorrow's class we are going to see the functions, how to create the functions and calculated fields. So we are going to have some calculated measures and how to create a columns. All these things we are going to have in the tomorrow's class. And Thursday and Friday, these 2 days, we are going to have the advance of Power BI, that is called as DAX functions. So here we are going to see the some functions. Apart from that, we are going to have the advanced DAX functions, and using these functions, we are going to have the presentation. And you are completing the DAX functions. I'll show you how you have to do the create the reports and how you have to do the presentation. And this Saturday, including Saturday also, we are having the class. This Saturday, as I've told you earlier itself, this Saturday we are having that too. This class is going to be for 3 hours. Okay, this session is going to be for 3 hours, and this is data analytics project. Data analytics project with Power BI. So from the scratch to advanced, this equal to your resume project. In this kind of project only, you are going to create one more and you are going to have the resume project. Okay, this is one of the most important, and for this particular project my other batch students are also going to join. That is the reason I have kept on the Saturday as a workshop I'm going to conduct, and other students also from multiple batches, they are going to join. Okay, and this is data analytics with the project with Power BI, starting from the complete scratch to advance. Okay, now this is the schedule for the next this particular week, and with this week we are going to complete the Power BI, followed by in the same pattern we are going to do for the Tableau. Right, now coming back, so in today's class, as I've told you, we are going to discuss the plots along with the tables, matrices. This is one of the most important. Okay, matrices, this is only most important. Okay, now so here earlier we have completed few plots, various plots we have completed, and in today's class balance what are the plots are left out, and in terms of tables along with the matrices. For anything, for any plot, common point is called as formatting. Whether it is a table or whether it is a plots or anything, formatting is common. Formatting means you are increasing the font style or changing the colors. This one is called as formats. Okay, changing the colors and increasing the font style, all this, right? Formatting is common in everything. Now, how we are going to create these tables along with the tables and in terms of matrices, this one. Okay, as earlier, if you remember, I told you we are having the total different stages of data analytics project. Out of data analytics project, what is the step number 1 is business problem understanding. Step number 2 is data understanding and data exploration. Step 3 is called as data cleaning. Step 4 is called as analysis. Now this point only is there. Now I told you what is meant by analysis means applying the various questions. What are the questions or logics, or from your mind, what are the ideas you are having? You are going to add all your ideas. And after adding your ideas, or in terms of all these things, from that you are going to create some tables, and along with the tables you are going to create some plots. So creating the tables and plots is only your analysis. In your analysis you are going to include these only, and from each of them observations, whether it is a table or whether it is a plot, common point you are going to have is observations. So once again I'm saying clearly this point. Okay, what is the point is analysis. I'm clearing one more time. Analysis, what is meant by analysis means applying various questions or logics in your mind. Some questions or logics, sir, can't we try in this way? If I apply in this way, what happens? If I think in this way, what happens? By like this, what happens? You'll have some logics now. In your logics, we can use the word called as logics or ideas. What are the ideas you are having in your brain, and what are the analysis? Okay, so like this, what are the things you are having? You are just applying. In that application, you are going to have the tables and plots, and all these are descriptive analytics. Means you are describing. You are not going to predict on the future. You are describing on the past, right? So now coming back, so analysis is nothing but applying the various questions or logics or ideas and everything. And from that, you are going to create the tables and various plots. What are the tables and plots are available? And from that, each table and plots, you are going to make the observations. Now, what are the plots we have discussed earlier? Coming to the list of plots, what are the various plots we have discussed till now? Means, what are the plots? So starting from the, this is first initial class we have discussed stacked bar chart, stacked column chart, and stacked clustered bar chart, clustered column chart, 100% stacked bar chart, 100% stacked column chart. Now just I'm opening the Power BI and let us see what are the remaining plots we have discussed and what are yet to be discussed one by one. And yesterday we have discussed some advanced plots, right? So those plots already I have uploaded as a notes by keeping the yesterday's date only directly in your Google Drive. What are your drive is there? In the drive, you can see the Power BI file itself directly, and that Power BI file whatever I have uploaded with the date mentioning yesterday's date. And today's whatever we are going to do now, today I'm going to mention today's date, and again I'll upload the Power BI file directly here, mentioning the date wise. Because the heading, what are the heading I am having? If I keep the heading as plots means inside that some plots we have completed in one day, some plots like that. So just I'm keeping as per the date wise. Okay. Now coming back, this is your HDS class, Power BI class, and I have uploaded directly the plots. Now, so this 6 plots already we have completed: stacked column, clustered bar, clustered column, 100% stack, 100% this one. And next we have discussed yesterday line plot. Okay, starting with the line plot. Yesterday we have started with the line plot. And what is the line plot means? As we are going to apply based on the date wise. Okay, in the yesterday's class majorly we have focused on the date and year. And next one is called as area chart. What is area chart means? What are the area is there below to the area? What is below to the area you are having below to your line plot? That plot area is called as area plot, right? And next we have discussed in terms of next one called as bar, stacked column along with the line with stacked column chart, stacked column chart. So what is this stacked column chart means? It is going to represent for you. Just if you want, I am going to open HDS class. Whatever I have explained in the HDS class, just I am trying to open. So what is meant by stacked column, stacked with line chart means? You are going to get each year or month wise, you are going to represent on the x-axis and along with the stacked. What are the stacked values are there? Along with the line. You are going to show with the line. So here you can add in terms of, for example, it is making somewhat complex or something like this. Let me make as simple. Instead of having the hue is equal to, that is nothing but legend, I'm removing the legend. So this is called as stacked. What is meant by stacked column along with the line? What is meant by this one is you are having the bar plot along with the line chart. Both are added, right? So we have discussed line chart along with the stacked column. Similarly, we have discussed in terms of line chart with clustered column. What is clustered column? Clustered means unstacked side by side. Clustered column chart, right? And followed by next, we have discussed in terms of next one is called as ribbon chart. What is ribbon chart? And it is going to combine the bar along with the area chart. Bar along with the area chart is called as a ribbon chart. So we have completed ribbon chart in the previous class, ribbon chart. Right? Next, we have done the next one is called as waterfall chart. What is meant by waterfall chart? Wherever the in terms of positives are there, you are going to get in the green color. Wherever the negatives are there, you are going to get in the red color. Today I'm going to explain in the table now. One table I will show you. After showing that table, from that whatever the things you are observing, now later you will only say that, sir, this would be better to represent in the waterfall chart. Wherever the negatives will come now, positives are there, not a problem. Negatives will come now. Sometimes positives will be there, sometimes negatives will be there. So in a particular year or a particular quarter, whether you are having the profit or loss, every quarter may not be profit or every quarter may not be loss. Sometimes profits will be there, sometimes loss will be there. Whenever you are getting the loss, you are going to represent them in the red color. So here it is a waterfall chart where the positives and negatives. Positives will be represented with respect to the green color. Negatives will be represented with the red color. So that is with respect to waterfall chart. Next, we have discussed next type of chart is called as, what is the next chart? Funnel chart. What is funnel chart? So in the funnel chart, we are going to get as per the ranking order. Same bar plots in the ranking order. It is just trying to reduce. Okay. So this is the funnel chart which we have discussed in the last class. Right. And after the funnel chart, we have discussed the scatter plot. Scatter plot, as everyone knows. The only difference is in the Python, what are the scatter plot? Data points wise we are going to get. Here summation we are going to get. Sum of the values of sales versus sum of the profits. But category wise we are going to have. And this is which we have seen in the last class called as scatter plot. How the data was distributed. Right? Next, after the scatter plot, what is the next plot we have discussed? Pie. Pie already everyone knows. What is meant by pie plot? Pie plot is nothing but it is going to give the distribution of the categorical data in terms of percentage. Right? So distribution of the categorical data you are going to get in terms of percentage is called as pie chart. After pie chart, what is the next chart we are having is called as donut chart. Let us discuss this donut chart. Yesterday we have not covered this one. Huh? Let us cover the donut chart today. So I'm going to include here donut chart. See, whichever the chart you want to include, click on that plot first. Okay, while practicing, what you have to do? First click on the plot. After clicking on the plot, here you will find the some details. These let us name them as details. And whatever this one is called as formatting. Okay. Now first we'll add the details. What are the details? Means legend. So for legend, what I'm going to do region wise, I'm going to take the region in the legend. And what are the values? I'm going to take the sales into the values, and I'm going to get the values in the each region. Already you know about the data set, right? So here segments are there. Within the segments, categories are there. Within the categories, subcategories are there. For each categories, again, so loss and profit are there. Sales is there, profit is there. So this is the data. So majorly we are going to focus on what? Category and which areas, city, and followed by with respect to order date and profit and quantity, region, sales, segment, and state, subcategory. So these are the things. When we have discussed the maps, when we have discussed about the maps, in the maps I have discussed for you the states, how to represent the states and along with their plots. I mean, says how much sales are there. So this is called as donut chart. Okay. So donut chart and pie chart will be almost similar for you. So this is the donut chart, and here in the format, if you want to change the format, you can change the format. You can add the data labels. Now, while adding the data labels, what is meant by data labels means what are the values you are seeing? They are called as data labels. Now, guys, if the plot size is small and it is not visible, okay, now you want to increase the plot size means what we have to do? Just click on the focus mode. Once you click on the focus mode, it will be zoom. What is meant by focus mode means zooming into the chart. Now here I'm going to do in terms of labels. What are the labels are there? Labels, can you see here? Labels, date, data value and percentage of the total. What is the data labels as now it is representing means this is the one. Data value means value of the sales. In the western region, what is the sales? And at the same time, what is the percentage? Western region contribution is 31.58%. It is contributing. Now, instead of, for example, if I select only date value, only data will be selected. Percentage will not be represented. And if you select in terms of percentage means only percentage will be represented, data will not be represented. And if you add in terms of this one, all details, here itself, everything will be added. In this case, if you add all these details, you can even stop the legend also, because directly the same thing West is be available here itself. Is the point is clear? Just you can select the formats. Where these formats will be available, first you have to select the donut chart. Inside that format, inside that data labels. And values. What are the values you are seeing here? You can increase the values or you can modify the values. And if you want, you can display them in the thousands or in the millions or in the billions, as we have discussed this one in the last class. So here 725 thousands you are going to see. Instead of thousands, I want in the millions means you are going to get 0.73 million. Right? So values you want display units. This is display units, or you can keep in the auto. By default, it will select. Okay. And these are the various options to modify. This is called as donut chart. Right? After donut chart, pie chart completed, donut chart is also completed. Next, after donut chart, what is the next chart we are going to have miss tree map. So already we have discussed tree map. So let me rename this one. Donut. Okay, donut chart. So donut chart and followed by tree map. What is meant by tree map? Just it is going to have as a heat map where it is going to add the colors to the numbers, and the size of the rectangular box will be decided based on the value. Now I want to zoom this one. How to zoom this one? Again, click on the focus mode. Now you can see here for each category, each subcategory, whatever the amount of sales are there. So category wise sales. So you are going to keep the sales. Okay. If you want, you can add the details, or if you don't want to add the subcategory, no need to add. So just one more time, I'm representing. See guys, this is tree map. Within the tree map, first I'm going to select the values. Total sales is this much. This is the total amount of sales. In the sales, I want region wise, category wise, subcategory wise, on what criteria? Guys, very simple. Don't get confused unnecessarily. This one, and I'm going to keep the pie chart. Observe the pie chart. This one also, I'm going to keep here sales as the values. Here also I have kept as the values. Here also I have kept as the values. Both the numbers are same. Can you see? 2297, that is with respect to 22,97,200. If I keep here, that is also same. Now, here just observe. In this pie chart, as everyone knows, for example, if I bring the region into the legend, you are going to get the region wise in the pie chart. Now, within the tree map, if I select the region, what happens means you are going to get a tree map like this. Same 4 colors. One is in the circle, one is in the rectangular box. Circle size will be selected based on the how much amount of the value. Here rectangular box will be selected based on the value. Point is clear? One is in the circle, one is this one. That is the difference. Generally, we'll not keep both of them in the same way. Why? While creating the dashboard, here in the tree map, what we'll do, instead of keeping the region, we will keep the subcategory or categories on the this one. And this side we'll select this one, and according to that, everything will be selected. Is the point is clear? Or for example, here itself you want to add within your tree map itself, you want to add subcategory. Okay, so here I'm adding in terms of subcategory in the details. So see, now here when I added in the pie plot, the pie plot is not making the sense. But when I add the same thing here within the this particular tree map, when I bring the tree map and if I add the subcategory, now this is making sense or this is making sense? Is the point is clear? So based on the requirement, for example, basic one, first one, whatever I have done without this subcategory, this one, and without subcategory, this one, this is making more better. Okay. So subcategory, if I remove and if I add only the values. Okay. So 8, whatever the number you are having, let me add the region here. Okay. Now in this example, 725.46, 725.46. Okay. Can you see the values? If values are not visible, what we have to do? For example, in this case, my values are not visible. What I have to do, guys? Click on the format, and within the format, what we have to do? Data labels. Within the data labels, values. Increase the size of the values. So just I'm increasing the size of the values. Now in this case, if I want to increase the size of the values, what I have to do? Same. Again, inside this, go to the format, and here also you try to increase the size of the values. Wherever you want to increase the size of the values, just you have to go to the format cell, format the plot. And now in this example, both of them are same only now. Now in this case, which one is better, miss? Obviously pie plot will be the better than tree map. So tree map, when you are having the more amount of categories are there, and you want to represent them. In that case, we are going to go with the tree map. Is that clear, guys? Tree map, everyone. Now, whether it is a tree map or whether it is anything, any map, guys, if I don't want to include the central region, what I have to do? I want to delete the central region. Remaining regions I want, except central region. Just you have to click on the exclude. So that part will be excluded. Or either you can add into the filters. Filters or simply exclude. Is the point is clear? And if you want to include, now here the most important point is there. Now, while explaining this one only, so here western part is there now. Now exclusively western data I want to separate. Data, I want data, not the this one. Okay, this if I click on the include, what happens? If I right click and if I click on the include, what happens? This one only will be selected. Remaining everything will be deleted. No, okay. If for example, if I'm doing like this, okay, so I'm bringing back. How to bring back? Control Z. Again, I want to add the western region. What I have to do? Western region I have excluded now. I want to include again back. Sorry, west is there. Which one is deleted? North. North part was deleted. I want to add that one back. What I have to do? Whichever I have deleted, I want back. Control Z. Simple. Right? Now, so here, particularly western region data is there. Na? Data I want. I don't want only the plot. I want the data of that. So right click on this and can you see here? Show as table. Click on the show as table. So it is going to show me as a table. Now this particular data, it is representing in terms of table, or for example, I want the data points. So the data points means it is going to show the data points. See, it's literally it has applied the filter. In the pandas, we'll apply the filter now, conditions, and based on the conditions, we'll separate the data now. So we are selecting the data, whichever the data we are interested, that particular data. For example, let's go with this one. Okay, I want only this particular data points. I want data points means records which contributed this one. I want the records. What I have to do? Just you have to click on the right click, and what are the plot you are having? Right click on that. Here you are having in terms of show as table. Okay, you can click on the show as table and you can get the entire data as a table. Just right click. Sir, that right click is not working in my laptop. In my case, miss, only one thing you have to do is first you have to click on the focus mode. Without focus mode, some of the plots it will not accept. Clear? Next, after the tree map. Okay, what is the next one we are having is maps. Already we have discussed the maps and field maps. After maps and field maps, next one we are having is called as gauge chart. Okay. After donut chart, we are having the tree map. After tree map, next one we are having is called as maps, and followed by field maps. Okay. And after the field maps, now we are going to discuss the gauge map. Sorry, gauge chart. It is not map, gauge chart. Now, what is gauge chart? So this is a gauge chart. Now here I'm going to keep the says. In the value, I'm going to keep the says. What is the total amount of says? Color? ఇక్కడ లైట్గా ఉందా? వాళ్ళు రావాల్సిందే. Could you call them once? 1 minute. సార్ ఇది ఒకసారి పవన్ కానీ అర్జున్ కానీ రమ్మని చెప్పరా, ఇక్కడ స్క్రీన్ లైట్నెస్ వస్తుంది, బ్రైట్గా రావట్లా. పవన్ని పంపించండి. Yeah guys, online students, till now whatever the plots we have discussed, everything is clear, or anyone has any questions on that? అది కలర్ లైట్ వస్తుంది, ఇక్కడేమో డార్క్ కలర్ గా ఉంది, అక్కడేమో లైట్ వస్తుంది. HDMI కేబులా? Yeah, online students. In meanwhile, if you are having any questions, please ask. You can type your questions, please. There is small technical glitch in of projector. It is clear. When compared to earlier, it is clear now. Done. So coming back, so here we are having the next plot is called as gate chart. So what is this gate chart means? It is going to represent till whatever we have done. I mean, in terms of says, for example, says target will be there. In that target, how much percentage it was achieved. By default, it will take every time 50%. That is by default. So what are the total amount of sales you are having? This is the maximum amount of sales it is going to show by default. So first you have to set the target. Some target will be set. So for that, what we are going to do is here we are going to create a new measure. How to create a new measures? So here I'm going to click on the new measure. Okay, just click on the new measure. And once you click on the new measure, here you are going to write in terms of, okay, that is nothing but target. Your target, what are the target is equal to. So you are going to give the target, some target value. What are the target value is there? Directly you can give the target value, or either you can take in terms of what are the sum. Okay, that is nothing but here you are having that is sum of and says sample store says what are the says is there, says into 1.3. So just I'm giving the 1.3 means nothing but 2.30. What are the 2.30 million is there into 1.3? I'm giving the target. In that target, I'm keeping the target as the maximum value, or I'm going to take the target as the target value. Target value, if you keep here, this is your target, and in that target, it was achieved. This much of target, this is the target was given, and this much was achieved. It is going to show like this. If you keep the target here, if the target value, if you are keeping as the maximum value was set to the 2.99. What is this 2.99 means? Nothing but I'm opening the calculator. So here I'm going to take 2.3 into 1.3. That is 2.99. That is my target. I have set the target. Target I have given like this. Example purpose, I have entered the 1. That is nothing but 1.3. You can give in terms of any value of your choice. For example, what are the target values then? Target value you are giving as 3 million or 3.5 million. What are the target value you have given? In that, how much value it has achieved? You want the target value to be the maximum value, or you want the target value like this? Means target value I'm going to keep in the target means this one. So this much of things are completed. This is the target was given. Target was given like this, and this is the, because this is the end report now. For example, this quarter was completed. Today is the year end. I have given some target, sales target. Now, what are the target was given? Target will be set at the last day, not before. Starting only will set the target, right? So in the starting, I have set the target as 3 million. I assume I have set the target as 3 million. And what is the target was reached? Miss 2.30 million was reached. It is indicating in that way. You want to keep the target as a line, or you want to bring the target value as the maximum value. That is your choice. If you want to bring the target as the maximum value, miss, it is going to bring the target value as the maximum, and this is the total target. And if you want to do the some formatting, you can do the formatting. What are the formats you want to add? Either in terms of colors, target color you want to change, or fill color you want to change, or data labels you want to change, anything. As per your choice, you can change the values. Okay. Everyone is clear? This is called as gauge chart. This is called as gauge chart. Right, guys? All the charts are clear? Till now, what are the charts we have discussed? These are all called as various plots. Up to these are called as plots. Next one we are going to discuss is tables and matrices. These are only the plots. Till now, whatever we have discussed, these are all comes under plot stat degree. Okay. Almost all the charts we have completed earlier itself. Today's in the class, we have covered the donut chart and gate chart majorly. These are the two different charts which I have added today. Remaining charts I have discussed earlier itself. Now I'm going to add the next one is called as tables. Tables and multiple tables at a time is called as matrix. These are the two things which we are going to discuss now. This is one more most important. Okay. So now tables. Okay. Let me save this one. Everything. And I'm trying to open it completely new one. Sorry, I have closed in a flow. I'm going to open completely a new one. Again, I'll save that one. Again, I will upload that one exclusively as a tables. Name as the tables and matrices. Okay. Now, so first I'm going to load the data. How to load the data? And what are the data I have shared for you is a Excel book or CSV? It is a CSV. So if it is a CSV, you have to click on the CSV. If it is Excel means you have to click on the Excel. And are you going to click on the load or you are going to click on the transform? It is load. Why? It is a clean data. For clean data, it is load. If it is unclean data, transform, and there you have to do the data cleaning. Okay. Now, once we have loaded the data here, now we are going to start creating the tables. Already one type of table we have discussed during the HR analytics project, that is employee project. Now in this sample that is sales project, in this we are going to have another one called as table. Can you see here? This is completed. Up to plots are completed, and these are called as cards. Cards we'll discuss. This card, and slicer. Cards and slicer comes under one category. Cards, slicers, filters. These three comes under one category. Okay. First, let us complete the tables. After completing the tables, we'll come to the cards and slicers last. Okay. Now, table. Now, what are the tables we are having? In the table, this is the table. In the table, we are having the columns. So what are the columns you want to add? You can add the multiple columns. I'm going to add the columns like this. First column is called as subcategory. Okay. First column name is called as subcategory. Second column name is called as in terms of sales. Amount of sales. And second followed by profit. And followed by quantity. Like this, you can add the category along with the numerical data. Now values are small. Values are not visible. Okay, these are the values. Values are not visible. How to change the values? Those comes under formatting. This is called as details. What details you have to add in the chart? Now, whatever the internal changes you want to do, every internal change is called as formatting. So I'm going to click on the format, and within the format here, first you want what formats you want. Here multiple formats are there. Everything we are going to discuss. This one was important. Earlier I have not discussed this one. Today I'm going to discuss what is meant by style, grid, values, column headers, total, specific column, cell elements. Everything I'm going to discuss one by one. Okay. Now first let us start with the values. First let us increase the value size. So how to increase the value size means just you are going to select this one. So internal values, the size of the values will be increased. Okay. And if you want to change the color means you can change the color. Okay. After the values, now this is called as above on the headings we are having a what they are called as column headers. I'm going to change the column header size also. I'm going to increase the column heading size, and you can add the bold or you can change the color also. You can change in the different colors. Right? This is column heading. Okay. Now, next one is called as I want to add the grid. Grid means columns. Each column lines are not visible. Row lines are not visible. General table means how the table will be there. See, this is our a general Excel sheet. Okay, if I take one normal general Excel sheet, in this Excel sheet, if I enter some values, some values if I enter, and if I say this is a table and inside that values are there means, so for example, I'm writing here some values like 1, 2, 3, and here I'm writing 4 and 8, 12, 5, 3, 8, 6. Okay, if I say this is a table means it will not be represented properly as a table. Table means how it should be there means generally a table should have in terms of rows and columns. So here you are having this one. So if you click on the borders, all the borders will be added. Or if you want only the column borders, column means it will add only the columns, or if I click on the rows means it will add the rows. For example, no borders. This is having no borders. As of now in the Power BI also no borders are there. In this table also no borders are there. I want to add the borders. So if you want to add the borders, you have to click on the grid. Here, horizontal grid is there, vertical grid is there. So in the horizontal grid, I'm going to increase the grid length. Okay, and first let me change the color so that gray is not visible properly. Can you see now? Horizontal lines. This is the horizontal lines. And similarly, vertical lines. How to add the vertical lines means this one. So I'm going to add the vertical lines and let me change the color to black color. And I'm going to keep like this. Is that okay? And for overall border, complete border, you are going to add the border like this. So you are going to select column headers, value, total section like this, whichever you are interested, and you can add in terms of border color. Okay, and I'm adding on the top. See, top means top line was added, one line was added. Bottom means down was added, and left means left side was added. Right means right side was added. Which means which one you are selecting according to that, and you can increase the width. Now the table will be represented properly. And if you want to keep them in the ascending order or descending order, tell me guys, how to keep in the ascending order or descending order of the sales wise. Sales wise, I want ascending. Just you have to select this one, click on the ascending or descending. Sales means sales, profit means profit, quantity means quantity. By default, it will take the first column. First column is text na alphabetical order, it is taking by default. By default, alphabetical order it is selecting. Is the point is clear? Now, for example, I don't want to see the grand total. What I have to do? I have to remove the totals means what we have to do? You are going to select the totals. In the total, if you remove the values, total will not be visible. If you want to add the total. And total you want to highlight in terms of with a different color. And you are going to keep in a different color for the totals particularly. Everything is called as formatting. Right? Now, for example, specific column or grid style. So grid I have completed, values I have completed, column headers completed, total columns are completed. These four options I have completed. Now, style, we are having here style. In this style, default, instead of default, here I am going to take the minimal. So, you are going to get the colors of minimal color. And if I keep here bold header, okay, the background, the whatever it is going to add that one. And I want alternate rows. Alternate rows will be added like this. Okay, which one is looking good for you? Select that one. This is complete formatting. Formatting is completely of your choice. In the PPT, which colors we have to add, which colors we should not add, how we are going to decide in the same way. There is no fixed rule for this formats. This outside, what are the details are there now? Here it is important. Here if you make a wrong miss, this is important. This is your choice. Formats are your choice. According to your taste, you are going to select the formats. Right? Now, and if you are interested with alternate or if you are interested with this one. So these are the different options. You can click on the different options and you can see yourself and which one is looking good. Finally, values are same only now. values are not going to change, analysis will not change, your observation is not going to change. Only the presentation. To others person, what are the presentation is there, that one only is going to get changed. So in my case, I'm going to select simply nothing, okay, or I'm not going to select anything, or I'm going to keep in terms of default. What are the default is there? Default I'm going to keep, and just if I want, I can keep the different column headings. Totals I want to have with a different one. Only these two generally I will modify. Internal things I will not do modification. Okay, that is your choice. There is no rule. Now coming to the next one is called as specific column. Now what is specific column means? Here total 4 columns are there. Now you can select any particular column. For example, I am selecting the subcategory column. For subcategory column, I am going to give a different color. Only for this particular column, I am going to change the color. Or if you want to change, I mean, at the same time, background is white color, or if you want to add any background color, miss, add the background color. Okay, it is not looking good, sir, miss, then you bring back to normal. Okay, or just, sir, I have given the different, sorry, this is black color. Sir, I want to bring the back. So now everything was changed. No, sir. In a flow, I want to bring back Control Z. Control Z option is available now. Okay, bring back to the Control Z. If you are not interested to add any kind of background. Colors, your choice. You can add the colors. If you don't want to add the colors, means don't add the colors also. Okay, that too per a particular column. Each column you can select. For example, this column you want to highlight. That particular column you are going to select. Whichever the column you are interested, that particular column only you can select, or you no need to select. That is your choice. And you are going to apply to the header. Okay, apply to the header, apply to the total, and apply to the values. So then it is going to select all these things for the complete one, including the header, including the this one. For example, if you off the header means header will not be selected. Okay, if you have the total means total will not be selected. If you have the values means values also will not be selected. Then nothing is used. Here, what are the color you change? None of them it will be applicable. What are the color? Nothing will be applicable. For which one you want to apply the color? For heading, for the total, internal values, for which one? Or everything, select according to your choice. So this is for a particular column. Next one is called as cell elements. Now this one is important, guys. Okay, subcategory. And within the subcategory, I'm going to add here border. Okay, border color of the subcategory, or with respect to font color. So here, based on the conditional formatting we can do. We can write the condition. So here I'm adding the font color. Okay, font, for example, I'm going to take the says. In the says, I'm adding the font color. See, for the says, font color was added. Means whichever is having the high says, dark color, whichever is having the low says, light color. Background color, see, which is dark. Out of all of them, which is dark? This one and this one. Which says are very high, those colors are dark colors. I'm going to keep lights. Right? Or if you are interested in terms of bars, data bars, it is going to represent in terms of data bars. Okay, or you can even represent based on the icons by using the icons. So icons will be represented in terms of, for example, high amount of sales are there. So instead of this one, see here, profit is enough. For the profit, I'm going to apply the icons. Whichever is in the profits, I want to give the upper arrow, green color of upper arrow. Whichever is in the loss, I want to give in the lower arrow mark, red color. So for this column, particular column, which column? Not the sales column. I'm going to select the profit column. First, for the sales column, I'm going to off this one. First, I'll select the sales profit column. In the profit column, I'm going to select this one. I don't want like this. Circles I don't want. I want upper arrow or down arrow. Here, I'm going to modify this. Click on this. Here, I'm going to keep the value. Whichever the value is in terms of greater than or equal to 0 number wise. 0 to which is less than 100. Sorry, whichever the value is greater than 0 with the maximum value in the number wise. That particular one I want to represent in the upper green arrow, this one. Okay. And whichever the number is less than, okay, whichever the value is greater than 0, minimum value number, and whichever the value is minimum value to 0, less than 0, less than 0 as the maximum number. For that one, I'm going to select as the red color down arrow. This is the red down arrow. Now tell me guys, this is best representation or waterfall chart will be best representation? Which one would be good for this one? So wherever the positives are there, wherever the negatives are there, if you want to represent positives and negatives, you can represent like this. This one more time I'm explaining guys. Go to the within the cell elements, click on the cell elements. After clicking on the cell elements, you have to select a particular column. Whichever the column you are interested, that particular column. So here I'm going to select a particular column called as sum of the profit. Okay. After selecting the column, here options will be available. What are the options means? First option is called as background color. Background color means you are going to get this background color darker to lighter. Higher the profit with darker color, lower the profit light color. It is going to apply based on the profit wise because you have selected the profit. It is applying the logic on the profit wise. And instead of background color, you can change the font color. Font color will be very high for the big number. Font color will be very small for the low number. Generally will not select this one because low numbers will not be visible properly. Condition. You can apply the condition. Here you can select from where to where. Number from this to this, I want in this color. From this to this, you can have. That is called as conditional formatting. Okay. And next one is data bars. You can add the data bars. And within that conditional formatting you want means click on the f of x. Conditional formatting is called as fx. Okay, for everything. Okay. Next, if you want to add icons, click on this. See, by default, whatever the icons it is giving, this one. If you want to change, I told what, if you want to change in your different way, your thing, select on the conditional formatting. In the conditional formatting, here I am going to give the value, whichever the value is greater than 0%. I don't want percent, number wise, whichever is greater than 0 and less than the maximum value. Means greater than 0 means every positive value. Every positive value I want to give in terms of, or green color you want. Positive values in the green color, negative values in the red color. Go in the font, within the font you apply this condition. So here you are going to select this one. So now whichever the number is greater than 0 to maximum, it is going to give the, what is this? Upper arrow mark. Now, whichever the value is greater than 0, that is greater than the minimum value, in the given data, minimum value will be there. Na? Minus values also will, minimum value will be there. Minimum value to less than 0. Minimum value means minimum minus any number can be there. Minus infinity to 0. Minus infinity to 0. This is 0 to infinity. Okay, minimum value is minus infinity to 0. I am going to select in terms of number wise. I don't want in terms of percentage wise, number wise. Whichever that one, I am going to represent in the red. This one not required. Only two conditions. And I am going to click on the. Is the point is clear, everyone? Table is clear? Now, everyone is clear? Anyone has any questions? One more time I'm asking. How to add the borders? How to add the grid? See, again, grid is not there. How to add the grid, guys? Format. Within that grid, you can add the horizontal grid. And similarly, vertical grid. Vertical grid, first you have to switch on and you have to click on the vertical grid, any color. Grid will be added, borders will be added, headings will be selected, colors will be added, anything as per your choice. Which, sir, that much of over things are not required, sir. Simple, like this, it is very simple, sir. Go with this. According to your choice. And sir, this one only is occupying maximum amount of space now, sir. For example, if, for example, I have kept like this. In that case, if I want to zoom that one, what we have to do? Click on the focus mode. Automatically, it will be zoomed. That particular plot you click and focus more on that. Explain each and every plot. Multiple plots are there in the single dashboard. You have to open that one and explain clearly. More focus you do on that. Focus mode means you are focusing on that during your presentation. Is the point is clear, guys? Now, next one is, this is a table. Table along with the formatting of the table. Table and its formats. Table is completed, everyone. This one also completed. Now, next I'm moving on to the matrix. If anyone has any questions, please ask what are the questions you are having till now. Plots are completed, table is completed. Right? Anyone has any questions? Plots and tables. Now, let's add with respect to next one called as matrix. This will be highlight. Here only main things are there. This is compulsory, mandatory. Today's class, most important part is this one for today's class. Okay. Now, coming to the matrix. So first, before to the matrix, first I'm going with the table. Okay. In the table, observe this one clearly. I'm adding the first column called as subcategory. I'm adding the subcategory. Okay. And I'm adding in terms of their sales, or let us go with the sales. Okay. You are adding the sales. Now, sales are there, subcategories are there. But I want in terms of eastern region, how much within the asterisk, this is the total amount of sales of asterisk. I want within the northern central region how much, western region how much, like this. This is my requirement. That is my requirement. Okay. Then what I'm going to do in this case means I'm going to select the this matrix. Instead of selecting the this table, I'm going to select the matrix. In the matrix, I'm going to add what are the sales are there. That is, sorry, what are the region is there. I'm going to bring the region also. Now, if it is a table, let me add for the table only region. If I add the region, what happens? And that to region I'm bringing on the top. This is the order. And I want to increase the size. Size is not visible properly. So I'm trying to increase the size of the values. I'm increasing. Okay. Now I'm keeping in the focus mode. Now can you see asterisk central region, asterisk eastern region, asterisk in the southern region, asterisk, like that it is repeating for everything. But I don't want like this. I want asterisk within that sub. Total of asterisk I want to see the sales. Within that, each region wise I want to see. That is my requirement. Now, this is a general table. Instead of table, I'm copying, I'm pasting. Okay, what are the table you are having? This table I'm changing as a matrix. Now, can you see here? When I click on the matrix, asterisk with respect to central, same value, asterisk central, asterisk with east, asterisk with south, asterisk with west. It is similar kind of cross tab. But in the cross tab, count will be there. Here, sum of the cells will be there. In the Python cross tab, if you apply between two discrete variables, you will get the number of records. I don't want records. I want the sum of the values. Again, I have to apply the filter, and that one I have to insert. So many things we have to write in the Python. Than that, this is more easy. Is the point is clear, guys? Everyone? So this is called as matrix. The advantage of the matrix not yet completed. Okay, matrix. Okay, now in this matrix, I don't want like this. I want the what are the region is there. I don't want the region as the column. I want the region. Observe this one, subcategory and sales are there. Clearly observe, guys. One more time. I'm increasing the font type. Font. Where is that? Values. Within the values, I'm going to increase the size. Now, here I'm having in terms of like this says asterisk. What is the total amount of sales of asterisk is 1,67,380. That is the asterisk. Now observe this one clearly. Here after subcategory, I'm going to bring the region in the rows, not in the columns, rows. Region into the rows. Now can you see here clearly there is a box. Earlier it is not there. Okay, now when I add here the region, in this case, if when I add the region, subcategories are available internally. You want internally or you want side. You can select as per your choice. What is the difference between this one versus the same thing? Copy and paste. Okay. Font size is not visible. Asterisk and everything. Now, one minute. Within the values, I'm going to add the size. It is and guys, size of these values are increasing. I want with respect to the row names. What are the row names are there? That one wants to increase. What we have to do then? In that case, what we have to do? Column head. So first, let me show you what are the options are available so that you may get a clarity. So column headers, rows headers, column subtotals, rows, grand totals, specific columns, cell elements, like this you are having. Now I want to select a particular specific column. What is a column I want to select? What is a column? Subcategory. First, let me select this one. And here I'm going to select the sum of the sales. One minute. Let me select directly the matrix one more time. Matrix. And within the matrix, I'm going to keep in the rows subcategory. And the values I want as the sales. And let me click on the values. Is that clear now? It is clear comparatively. Now, Just we are going to add here layout bolt headers. Let me keep as default. Let us not disturb the style. Now the point is, this is the table. In this table, I want in terms of, let us add the focus mode. So within the asterisk, I want to add, okay, the region. So how I'm adding the region is like this. In the rows I'm adding. So once you click on this, you can see for each region, okay, for appliances in each region, within the region. If you want to add in the rows means you can add in the rows, or if you want to add within the columns means you can add the same thing in the columns, region as the columns, and you are going to get like this. Is the point is clear? Region you want to add in the rows wise, or region you want to add in the column wise. You can choose as per your choice. Okay. Now subcategory this one. So instead of subcategory, I'm keeping the category. This is the category wise. Now within the category, subcategory, that to region. Now what I'm going to do, subcategory, I'm going to bring into the rows. So now within the category of furniture, subcategory. Within the office says subcategories, and within the technology subcategories. Is the point is clear? So like this, you can add within the categories, again subcategories. Within the subcategories, you are adding in terms of region wise. Now here you are having in terms of formatting. This is matrices, and within the matrix here, for example, you are adding this one. What are the matrix in there? Okay. Now I want in terms of year wise or quarterly sales. Okay. Then what I'm going to do? Just you are going to bring into the order date. You are having in terms of date wise now. Just you can bring the date, or dates you can bring in terms of, instead of region, I'm going to bring the date here. So in the year of 2016, for the categories, in the year of 2017, categories like this, right? And whenever you come, it comes to the date, always you'll have the hierarchy. What is hierarchy of the dates? First one is year, followed by quarter, month, and date. So just if you click on this, you are going to get quarterly wise. Okay. So you are going to have in terms of years, what are the years you are having? So here you have to select the columns. Within the columns, I want to select the hierarchy. So quarter one, quarter two, quarter three. For example, if you select here rows, and if you click on the hierarchy, it is expanding this one. Okay, it is getting expanded. I'm selecting here in terms of not rows. I'm selecting in terms of columns. Select the columns and click on the hierarchy. Then you are going to get the monthly sales, quarterly sales like this. Is the point is clear? Now, particularly you want to add only 2014. Only 2014. And that too only quarter one, quarter two. Then what you are going to do? You are going to apply the filters. In the filters, you have to select them. That is filtering, the data filtering. So this is, for example, I'm selecting here rows, or I don't want monthly sales. Just I'm bringing back. This is yearly. Yearly sales within the furniture subcategories, and within the office subcategories, and within the technology subcategories. Is that clear? Now here, if you observe clearly, you are having the multiple totals. These are all the totals, individual totals and overall grand totals. So everything you can do the formatting. So here can you see column subtotals. What is column subtotals? Column subtotals means this one. For each category, you are having the subtotal. Now, this is subtotal. Now, if I off the subtotal, okay, for every column, subtotals, what are you having? Row subtotals. Okay, for this one, and for this one. Now, subtotals are not available of the row wise. And you don't want in the column wise also subtotals means remove this one. Then you'll not see the totals. If you want to see the totals, just you can add the totals as per your choice. Column subtotals and row subtotals. Row subtotals means in terms of each row, their total means this one, this one, this one, this one. These four values total you want. And this entire row total you want. Okay. As per your choice, you are going to select the totals. And similarly, grand total. What is grand total means? Down. This is overall. This is called as grand totals. So column wise grand total and similarly row wise grand total. You can change the values. For example, grand totals we are going to keep in a different color. This is a grand total of column wise and similarly row wise grand total I'm keeping in a different color. Okay, choice is yours. Whichever the total you want to change, that one. Okay, is the point is clear? Matrix is clear. And cell elements is common, column headers you know, row headers you know, everything already you know. Any questions? Guys, matrices is clear or not? And if you want to select row wise means rows, columns means columns, you have to click on the drill down. Okay, and if you are selecting the date wise hierarchy, if you want to select means, then you have to keep here hierarchy. If you have kept the date on the rows means, then you have to select the rows and hierarchy. Now you are going to get quarterly wise. That data, what are the data you are having? You are going to get the data as per the quarter wise, quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. Quarterly wise, you are going to get the data. If you click on this one, you are going to get in terms of monthly wise. Okay, quarter wise, monthly wise, year wise. Hierarchy. Everyone is clear now? With the tables and matrices. Everyone is clear? In the table, only the columns will be available. Within the columns, sub. In the rows or in the columns, you want the sub miss, then you have to create the matrix. Only plain table you want miss, go with the table. Within that subcategory, something you want to add. Then, for example, guys, observe this one once again. Here, this is I'm going to keep in the focal mode. So here, instead of category, I'm going to first keep in the segment. I don't want the category. I don't want the subcategory. I'm keeping the rows as segment, first segment. Within the segment, I want category. Within the category, I'm adding here in the rows. So within the segment, furniture. Within the furniture, again subcategory I want. Subcategory also I'm adding in the row. Again within the furniture, again subcategory. This is segment. In that segment, category. In that category, again subcategories. Like that you can add. In the table, it is not possible. In the table, what is possible means columns only possible. Directly you can bring the columns. That is either this one, consumer, along with the years. Directly, any one you can select. Within the category, again sub, within that sub, within it cannot be possible within the table. Within the table, one more table is called as matrix. Matrix is clear now? Everyone? Anyone has any questions? Either you can show in terms of sales wise or you can show in terms of profit wise. If you are having the questions, you can ask. That is the end of the session for today. In the tomorrow's class, we'll continue with the remaining things. So many things we have discussed now. You have to have the time for practicing, right? Go and practice. For everything, details, formatting, and within the formatting, conditional formatting. Done? Yes. Just you have to select in terms of the as per year wise you want. Instead of which year you are having the maximum amount of sales. Then yeah, just are you having the that a particular example? Just we'll discuss in 2 minutes. Guys, others, could you please confirm? Everything is clear? Online students particularly? Online students, is that clear? Matrices and tables. Your analysis will be done through plots. Your analysis will be done through tables. Now in the tomorrow's class, we are going to discuss the cards along with the filters and functions. Three things we are going to cover in the tomorrow's class. Okay, as I've told you in the today's class, what are the things we are going to cover, miss? Plots, tables, and matrix. This was covered in the today's class. In tomorrow's class, we are going to have remaining things. This is your schedule for this week. Right? Done. Sir, in Python for continuous variable, we'll use histogram. In the Power BI also, you can use the histogram. Already I have discussed histogram also, right? Yeah, bar chart for continuous also, you have to convert as a bins. You have to create the bins. Continuous variable, you have to convert as a bins, intervals. You have to create the intervals and then you have to apply. Okay, bar plot applied on a intervals is called as histogram. Done. If no questions, you can leave. If no questions, you can leave. If you are having any questions, you can ask. What are the questions you are having? You can leave. No questions, you can leave. Both offline and online students, you can leave.